believe it? The Quran keeps on changing and changing. The Quran isn't completely accurate. I've already been telling you this. There isn't any completely accurate Quran. Well, J. Smith and Al Fadi has something in store for us. So let's go and enjoy these stuffs about the Quran, and it will blow your mind. If you boast as a Muslim that you have a complete, accurate Quran, please, it is never true. Even Aisha said, a goat ate portions of the Quran. Let's enjoy it.
This is the Hafs text. 1985 is when he says Fad. So when you look at 1985 and you compare it with the top copy, 2,270 letters, words, that means meanings, right, and all. These are consonantal texts. Remember, this is consonantal differences, not dots or vowels. That's what he's talking about. Hugely significant. You'll see why in just a bit. Here's an example. Dr. Keith Small, when he was living, this is what two that he wrote in his book. You have the chapter 14, verse 38. You have the top copy over here, and it says, "You know what we conceal and what he revealed." In the Kyrene text, the 1924, which is known as the Fad text 1985, the text that we have here in our hands, in that same verse, it says, "You know what we conceal and what we reveal." So from he, it's been pluralized. So that has huge significance.
Definitely. One is talking about, let's say the top copy is saying, it's almost like Allah is talking and saying, somebody, let's say Muhammad is the one who revealed, or vice versa, right? Muhammad is talking about himself in a plural, which is uncommon, and saying that Allah revealed. In the second one, it's the same person talking about himself revealing something.
Or we could be the plural tense for God himself.
That's right.
God refers to himself in the plural tense all the way through the Quran. Here's another one. This is Surah 3, 158. And in the top copy, it says, "If you should die or be slain, you shall not be gathered." But in the surah that we see today, it says, "If you should die or be slain before him, you shall undoubtedly be gathered." It completely contradicts itself.
That's right. This is Judgment Day. So What's going to happen? Are you going to be gathered before him or not?
That's a theological problem
Exactly.
there as far as belief and practice, if that's the case. I want to show you some of the material that Dan Brubaker has brought up with the top copy. Dan Brubaker has looked all through this. And here is a reference to chapter 9, verse 72.
And huwa is the issue.
There it is right there. See where the green arrows point? That little word, huwa, has been added at a later date. It's a smaller script.
Right. So it's kind of like adding a definitive, thing. Like we're talking about the great reward. This is going to be the great.
So it's
reward.
nothing more than putting emphasis on it.
It's emphasis. Without it, you could still read it and understand it.
Perfectly okay without it.
Exactly.
So what's it doing there?
Well, it seemed like it could be a part of the standardization going backward, reverse engineering.
It's because this has it there.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's standardizing the test, putting it in there so it agrees with the Hafs text, the 1924 hours.
And we know this because this is a Kufic text, and Hoa is not in a Kufic text, and it's obvious that somebody added it later.
There you go. Okay, so there's again a top copy. Here's one where the name Allah has been added in the margin.
The missing Allah.
In chapter 66, verse 8.
Yeah.
Lam 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 he Allah has been added with a completely different name. Can you see that? A much smaller name.
That's right.
Why? Because they need the God's name there because it's in the Hafs text. It's standardizing it, bringing it up to date. So you can see that this is another variant. These are not unsubstantial. Here is the top copy where in chapter 4, verse 167, in the number 1 up here, the first erasure of the letter Allah is in green arrows. That's right here. You can see it's been added. It's been taken away. They've erased it because it's one too many. So that's a scribal mistake. Number 2 down here, the blue one, shows the shadow of what was first written and which was Alihi Qad.
Allahu Qad.
Allah He Qad. Okay, already has already, or Allah has already. They've erased that out. Why?
Because it doesn't match.
It doesn't match, and it's not in the Hafs text.
Right.
Up 3 here is one that Dan was just still looking at. Here's another erasure. It can be found in line 10 as well. But he hasn't really studied this. You can't tell what has been erased. You can try to see what's been erased. He doesn't really know, but obviously a letter has been erased. So here you can see 3 different manipulations in chapter 4, verse 160 in the top copy, proving that there has been manipulation.
But the most important thing about these erasers and corrections, it shows that there was a fluid process of editing the text at a later time.
At a later time. But you cannot say in any shape or form that the top copy is complete, or that it has never been changed, or that it is the standard text. And remember, this has already been dated to I want to get this right, 749, so mid-8th century is what its current date is.
All these were from Islamic authentic sources. You see, You are a Muslim, no one hates you. We really want you to do that which is necessary, that which is ever going to be able to save your life. Jesus Christ is being recommended to you. If you really need salvation, you have to be drenched into Christianity for salvation. Make sure to like the program, share, subscribe for us in your, and we're gonna meet some other time. Actually, I'm gonna give you much information about the Quran and the reason you have to say goodbye to the book you hold in. It isn't authentic, it isn't genuine, it isn't accurate, and you know that. It cannot be compared with the Bible. Bye bye.